So guys, we're going to be talking about my own opinions of Pokemon Legends ZA. So, a couple days ago, we got the trailer to Pokemon, our first ever look at Pokemon ZA. And I was more than impressed. Everyone thought it was going to be in the past. I was right, it was going to take place in the future. Now, when I said it was going to take in the future, I thought it was going to take maybe 20 or 30 years after the events of X and Y. But it seems this game, of what the information we got, it looks like this game might be taking place in the present of the Pokemon universe. And it seems like AZ might be it's probably going to take looks very different than the way it seems he has his own hotel business now. And we did find out of his new organization that is going to help make Lumio City into a bigger city. And the starters, no one probably could have predicted we were gonna get Totodile, Chikorita, and Tepe. And two Gen 2 starters. Now, what I really liked about this trailer was you could just throw in any Pokeball. At least seems in this game we're going to be able to throw any Pokeball. So basically, let's say you got yourself a Master, well, boom. Now, Apple's never going to miss. Now, what I really liked is the mechanics. Looking at the battle strategy, and it seems like this game is going to be more strategizing and closer to the anime. Actually, it seems like when your character moves in the game, your Pokemon's gonna move basically. Certain moves are actually looking much different. Like in the trailer, there was rock, stone, not rock, the move, I forget what it's called. Rockstone, yeah, that one. Where basically, when you leave it, it seems the Pokemon's gonna take damage. So that means if Poison Spikes and Iron Spikes is probably going to have a similar mechanism to what we saw. It also seems the Mega Evolution has a timer now. So I don't think I'm a big fan of. Not really a big fan of that even. Like, having a timer is not going. We also saw Zygarde. Now, Zygarde 10% is all what we saw. So, that's not going to be a big. It also says it's coming late 2025. Not really a big fan of that. And at the end of the trailer, you see Pokemon Tournament. So, it also seems like Pokemon Legends Z is going to be basically more of GTA. Now, we knew this from day one. Now, the city looks huge, amazing in my opinion. And what I really liked is the wild area. Or wild zones is what they're calling them. I'm going to be basically probably calling them the wild zones. Now, these wild zones each have numbers. So what I'm wondering is these zones, how big are these zones there? Because we saw a couple of these zones. Now, in my opinion, they don't look as big as you would think. They're not that big, really. They look like basically very small, but big enough to, have a lot of Pokemon in them. Now, are these wild zones how you're going to get certain? Is probably how we're gonna get certain Pokemon. Now, also, my opinion is where do you think Zygarde is lurking? It does say on the Pokemon site, it says Zygarde is gonna take an interest into you in the game. So it seems, in my opinion, they might be trying to make Legends ZA more like in the anime TV show Pokemon X and Y Z, where at the finale of the whole series, Lysander uses Zygarde and Red Zygarde, turns Zygarde into Red Zygarde of his little cannon thingy, and then corrupts both Zygardes in his attempt. And eventually, at the end of it, Ash and his friends do stop Lysander, and the big weapon, he uses a Zygarde weapon to try to just stop them, and all the gym leaders come together to stop him. Now, if this is what they're trying to do now, no one knows if Lysander's actually dead. So, that's going to be something. Now, what I don't think they're going to be doing that thingy, but I do think there is going to be Red Zygarde appearing, and that whole thingy. That could be an element they are using, but they're going to change it a bit. Maybe instead of Lysander doing it, these new guys who are working to make Lumio City a bigger city are actually the ones who are the bad guys. There was also Looker is in this trailer, so there could be a chance Looker is returning. And there's probably a chance that maybe certain Pokemon are probably going to get Megas. Now, the starters, I think, is what really, people were not happy with certain choices. The two starters are probably are from two different regions. And, I can understand that. But, Chikorita kind of is one of the worst grass starters in any region. And I think Totodile is just really loved from the anime and from his own game. And I guess Tepik also doesn't have as much love. He's a good starter in his own game, but just isn't, over the years, has not gotten much light. Either as Gen 5 or Gen 2. Think about it. Gen 1 are the first starters in the series, and they have a lot of love out of any starters. Charizard got 2 Megas in X and Y. And was the first Pokemon to actually get Gigantamax. And then the first 7-star Terra Raid in Scarlet and Violet. And also, the Kalos starter, Froakie got the best out of all 3 of the Kalos starters. He got his own appearance in the anime and a special transform if the main character of the anime, and he was also in Sun and Moon if the special Gaminja got in it. So Gaminja also gets a love. And I don't think they were really going to make a legend. Now, this game is futuristic. And what I think is going to happen, your rival is not really going to be, he's one of those rivals who's probably going to choose the ones that is weak against you. He's the friendly rival. Now, I think this game is going to be very hard. I think you're going to need to strategize a lot. I'm really liking how you just can switch out whenever you feel your Pokemon. And there's no you just scroll and boom, you throw that Pokeball. So that's one. And I'm wondering about this Mega Evolution. Now I'm going to make probably another video about that. Now, what Legends Arceus did, I'm wondering if there will be any ride Pokemon. Are we allowed to ride? Now, what I really want in a Pokemon game is what Pixelmon is known for. You can ride almost any Pokemon you want in that game. And it makes it so much better so you can ride almost any Pokemon you want in that game. That's what makes it, I think, so good, Pixelmon, is I'm really hoping you can ride certain Pokemon. Now, I wouldn't mind if they only let you ride Kalos Pokemon. It wouldn't be bad if they would let if you could ride Talonflame around the city as flying, any flying Pokemon, or ride a Mega Charizard around Lumio City, that would be amazing. I'm just saying, if they do that in Pokemon Legends ZA, that's gonna be big. That will be something. Now, I don't think they're gonna let you ride on Mega Charizard. I don't think they're gonna let you do that. Now, Talonflame, I think they would let you ride a Talonflame. Talonflame is basically part of the Kalos region, and I think this game is mostly gonna be Kalos riding Pokemon. Because most of the Pokemon in Legend Arceus are either from Generation 4 or I think a different generation. Like, there are 3, I think there's 2 Pokemon from Generation 5, and then the rest are just from Generation 4. Like Ursaluna, Weirdeer, and you got that fish, I forgot its name, and Braver. So all of these Pokemon are either from Gen 5 or Gen 4. So makes them very good. Now, is the Shiny Charm coming out? Are we going to be able to hear shiny Pokemon? I know it has not been confirmed even. The leaker did say that, but, that was a couple months ago. So, what could Legends... Now, probably, I think the best thing about Legends Z is probably going to have a lot to do with Zygarde this game. Now, I'm not saying the game might actually make you catch the whole Kalos deck, but I don't think so. Zygarde is the Pokemon of order, so I think this game's gonna have a lot to do with Yveltal and Xerneas and their conflict. And then I think that is what's going to make Zygarde have an interest into your character, because he sees you're gonna try to stop Yveltal and Xerneas' conflict, and he sees you. And then Zygarde approaches you, and you and Zygarde work together to try to stop Xerneas and Yveltal destroying Lumio City. Now, this is just my theory. Looker might be in the game, but I think it's going to be a different character. So, do you think I'm right? You can tell me in the comments. Give me a minute. So, I think, most likely Emma, so was Luker's assistant in the post-game of X and Y, is probably going to play a major role in helping you. I think she's going to be one of your allies. Now, is AZ going to be ally? I think he will. I think AZ is also going to play a major role in this game. He might actually be the first person who believes you, so you saw Zygarde. He is the king of Kalos, meaning he could actually be a main character. Now, is he going to play a big role? Yes, I think he will. Now, he could tell you about the ultimate weapon and how it saved Kalos, but maybe someone says we should use the ultimate weapon again, but instead, no one wants to use the ultimate weapon, cause the ultimate weapon would destroy everyone once again. So I think instead, Zygarde approaches you then, guys, approaches everyone and say you trust, and eventually there's a different plan to stop Xerneas and Yveltal's destruction. So that's what I think. Now, I think Emma's going to be most likely, maybe she's not going to be one of the good guys. Maybe she is an anti-hero in this game. And basically, the real bad guys, I still think are the organization who are turning Lumio City are probably going to be the ones who are bribing maybe Emma, because she is a part of the police department, and paying her a good amount to keep quiet. But eventually, Zygarde, you appear, and she gets it reminds you of a different person except they're a long time ago. Like Looker. You could remind her like Looker. And then she does not listen to them. So that could be a thing. I don't know. I don't know if it is going to be a thing. What Legends Arceus did one good thing. You could catch any Pokemon by sneaking around. I'm really hoping that's going to be a round where you could sneak around and throw your Pokeball behind them. It seems the throwing mechanic has stayed. But I don't know if you guys are going to be able to sneak around. So, and there was the mechanic, so we saw. So basically, you can knock a Pokemon out, and then you get another chance to throw a Pokeball. Now, I don't even know how long that's going to stay. Does that mean you got one extra chance? You can throw it at the beginning before you enact the battle, but then if you don't get it, you have a chance to knock it out and try again? I don't know. So, I think Emma is going to play a big role in this game. And AZ. I think AZ is going to play a much bigger role than her because AZ has a lot of history. I think if Xerneas and Zygarde, Yveltal, Xerneas, and Zygarde, I think have a lot of history if AZ. And I think he has history of them. Now, I'm wondering where Professor Sycamore is. In the whole trailer, we don't know where he is. He does live in Lumiel City. Now, the question is, I think the reason Mega Evolution is more common in this game is after you basically, Serena or Kalim finish Sycamore's research about Mega Evolution. And Professor Oak made it publicly known about Mega Evolution. So over in the present now, everyone is actually able to use Mega Evolution. And I think battles in Legends Arceus, it was not mostly about battles. It was mostly about catching Pokemon. Now in this game, I think it's going to be more about battling. It seems like in the trailer there were more battles than actual catching, so there's probably going to be. Now, Wild Zones are probably now. I don't really want them just to have 10 Wild Zones because that would be like very not cool. Now, I think like these Wild Zones are going to be there's going to be a lot, I think. Now, what I really hoped it was, in this game, from this trailer is not going to happen. If it does, I will be surprised. But I really wanted, like, let's say at the beginning of the game, once you finish the main story, you could go to all the past other towns. But I don't think that's going to be a thing. Now, I really like how the mechanics they're putting Scarlet and Violet and Legends Arceus styles into one game. So is going to be now when we know this is futuristics, there's probably going to be way more compatibility to do with your friends. So I also wanted, so I got two things right in Legends Arceus, Legends ZA. So I also like how they have holograms. Now that was a thing in X and Y, but it was called the Holocross, where it digitalized your character in a virtual version of a phone. So I really liked it. So that's a good thing. So it seems like that's gonna be it. I guess I'll see you in the next video. Tell me, guys, what you think. Do you think any of my theories or my own opinion is right? I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.